So this is our epic extra for the week. We decided we wanted to really stay away from spoilers with the Avengers review and even the comic. If we touch maybe a little bit on that, we don't know what we're going to talk about. We're just going to talk. I enjoy these because they're not as structured, unedited. But really, please do not watch this if you have not seen the movie. I can't stress that enough. Spoilers galore. We're just going to talk. So please, tune off. I would hate to ruin the movie for anyone. So awesome. The movie was crazy.
Yeah.
Like we said before, it is now the highest grossing movie of all time. The estimates as we're taping this are at $200.3 million. Unheard of. What do you think that does for comic book movies?
It legitimizes it for sure. I mean, I think I said to you before, I hope this movie does well, makes money, because...
Oh, did it make money?
But not only does it, obviously there's going to be Avengers 2, Avengers 3, whatever, which I can't freaking wait for. They're going to probably fast-track it now, I would hope. They want to get it out.
I hope they fast-track it with the quality, but I mean, definitely.
I mean, Joss Whedon has to do this next movie, for sure.
Yeah.
But not only does it do that, but, DC now is going to see the potential here.
I could see them getting the idea. Christopher Nolan's trilogy's done. Hey, let's get the fast track. Because, listen, you don't need the origin stories anymore. There is a movie you can watch now for any superhero movie that would matter for a Justice League. You can get their origin.
Justice League.
Right?
That would be insane.
There's enough Batman movies. There's enough superhero movies. There's Green Lantern. There's Wonder Woman. There's enough that they could get that lit and have that. They could come out with the Justice League movie because they're going to need something when Nolan's trilogy ends.
For me, it carries more because I remember the first extra scene we saw from the first Iron Man where Nick Fury comes in and is forming the Avengers, and just those little bits over the course of 4 years heighten the anticipation. That if you just came out with a movie, I don't know if you'd have all that behind you. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Yes, you're right that they do have the other backstories.
And the fact that the Tesseract, the Cosmic Cube,
was
in Captain America, was from Odin's chamber.
Loki,
shit like that.
Yeah.
And then Iron Man, talked to the Hulk, even though, they kind of went a little bit away from that. Black Widow was in that. It's amazing. It truly is cinematic genius that they were able to plan. It's actually they have the best organizing skills in the world. Marvel does for being able to plan these movies out and have them make sense.
Right. Yeah, and they committed to it. They stuck with it. They were patient. They didn't put out crap stuff just to get this out. Took their time, did it right.
Let someone helmet who deserves all the credit in the world for doing it. Like Joss Whedon, let a true fan with a signature voice helm the movie and really do it well. I mean, some of my favorite the lines in this movie, I didn't want to talk about this in the review because I didn't want to give it away. I laughed harder in this movie than I did in any comedy that I've seen recently. When Loki is given that speech looking at the Hulk, and then the Hulk grabs him like a rag doll and just smashes him all around the building. I haven't been involved in a theater that laughed that hard on the two occasions that I saw this movie, harder than they did at that. Great. When
he says puny God after that is what he
says. Does
he?
Yeah. And I've missed that, and this, me
which
just
apparently
hearing this.
was a callback to the Hulk Eric Bana movie. He said puny something else, puny human or something. So it was like a callback to that, they said, but...
See, that's crazy. I didn't even hear that line because people were laughing so hard, so loudly. The little parts of this movie, I touched on the humor when Captain America slips Nick Fury $10 because the
this is Joss Whedon, right there. He put that in there.
Incredible.
The only one thing I did.
I have two complaints, but go ahead.
I have a couple of little things that we talked about afterwards, but really, to me now, it's the one character moment that I didn't like, where I thought Joss Whedon just put his own thing in there, was when Thor was like, "I'm adopted." I thought that was totally not in his character.
No, he's adopted. The brother.
Oh yeah, he's adopted. I was like, that's totally. He wouldn't say that. He would not say that. And that's where I was like, it's funny and definitely was good wordplay, and he said it quick and it was like a quip, but he wouldn't say it. And that's the only little.
Sure.
It's not really.
I laughed at that. I didn't find that. Two things. One thing I didn't discuss with you, so I'll see what you think about it. You brought this up. All of my friends who saw this, who we talked about the movie, brought it up. Is the idea that now the Hulk could magically control himself. Yeah. I didn't even think of that when I saw the movie because it was like I was just like, oh, Hulk smash. Captain America told Hulk to smash. That's so cool.
Yeah.
But kind of
needs
to be
said. The whole movie, he couldn't... Well, the whole beginning part was like how they didn't want him on the shield thing because they didn't know what was going to happen. He could freak out, and then they're screwed because they're in the air. He did freak out. But then later in the movie, himself. He just came to the fight and like was able to like work
saves
with
the day, saves Iron Man, takes direction.
Which you said a good explanation is that he was confined on the ship, so he kind of just freaked out.
And they shot at him too. Yeah, they were the enemies in his mind. I mean, the plane shot at him. Yeah. You know, Thor hit him. He viewed Black Widow as an enemy, but still not as much as like just being completely fine with them later. He did punch Thor, which was hilarious. Yeah, it was great.
But yeah, I see that.
And like, I'm sure other people, since everyone had said that to me, I'm sure other people are going to have that complaint. I'm sure Joss Whedon is going to probably like talk about it soon and see, you know, what that is. The other little issue I had, you know, Loki's on the ground. And he says, you know, I'll take that drink now. You remember that scene? All the Avengers are standing over him.
Oh yeah.
They're up in Stark Tower. They're all standing over him. Hawkeye's like this with an arrow pointed at him. Hawkeye didn't have any arrows. Like, maybe he stopped to get some more, but remember, he runs out, uses the last one, he picks off the dead guy as the grappling hook, and then he's up in that with the arrow. Again, this was my second viewing, so I could be more critical of a movie. Again, still sitting on the edge of my seat, ear-to-ear smiles, but still, little things like that, this movie is going to get more... People are going to see more
There's little things, you know, it's little things. Like, I had a problem with the way that they... Because I was really interested in seeing how they got the team together, which I felt like they did a great job. They did earn that moment where they all assembled, so to
Stark
speak.
told Captain to say, you know, Captain, what's the plan?
But
Take this, do this.
I was really interested to see how they brought Thor back to Earth. I thought it was going to be an interesting way because at the end of Thor, the pathway got destroyed.
It was thrown away in the line.
It was thrown away with the Loki line where he said, what black magic did Odin use to get you here? Which... I'm fine with it because they didn't have any time. He got there, you know. But I was just like, well, you know, I was kind of expecting.
And I don't know what they would have sacrificed to have an extra 10-minute scene in Asgard for that.
Right. It would have taken you out of it.
But they did cut 30 minutes, so that might be in the specials. You know, they're supposed to have a scene of Captain America dancing with his girl from the first movie in the extras.
She's like
older, cool. Which really goes into the Captain America movie, which I think is really cool. But I think we need to talk about the ending. If you haven't seen the movie yet, shame on you for watching this. But there's a scene right after like the visual credits is over,
which I love.
And there's a scene after the credits, which is a throwaway for the nerds, for us, where they're just sitting around at a table eating, and because it was a joke that they filmed this after and said, oh no, it's nothing, it's just us eating, and
it
was. So we don't really have to talk much about that, but the bad guy that's getting introduced, Thanos, we had some discussion, we thought it was actually Galactus. Right? Yeah. Am I saying that right? But from research after, it's Thanos. And how do you think it's going to be having them just against one guy? Are they going to give him an army?
I looked up like his backstory, and his first coming to Earth was looking for the Cosmic Cube, which is, I don't know if they're going to do it that way, but then he has this like gauntlet, Infinity Gauntlet thing,
which was also in Odin's vault in Thor. They showed it in the movie,
and apparently one of the gems in that, or from that, or one of the gems that he collects was in the scepter that. Loki had, cool. Because he is apparently the one that got him the army from the.
He's an internal and things like that.
I think it could be cool. I mean, I don't know enough about the storyline to know like how badass he is, but I think.
And I think that might be hard that they have an unknown to the general public.
Yeah,
as the bad guy, but definitely it can be done.
I don't know. I think it'll be good. I mean, to be honest, I don't know. I'm just excited to see another movie where they're not. Like being emo half the time, which I was completely fine with for this movie, but like that they're just assembled in the beginning and they just kick ass the whole.
So you want a fight scene throughout the entire thing?
Yeah, the fight scene was just
incredible.
Awesome,
it was really good. So again, check it out for a second time. You're going to pick up more things. It was 95% the same amount of enjoyability. I made up a word there for me, so definitely check it out again if you haven't. Thank you.